Welcome to Life in the Hill Country. Today we're going to come to you from the Llano Square. We'll be talking about some of the history of the Llano Courthouse, the square, and some of the businesses around the square. Life in the Hill Country is coming up right after a word from our sponsors. If you've ever heard the local news anchor say, "Police are looking for this man," and every eye turns and looks at you, you may need Tim Cowart. If you ever find yourself handcuffed to some guy named Bubba with tattoos, a mischievous smile, and keeps winking at you, and you weren't willingly put into this situation, you definitely need Tim Cowart. Tim Cowart, attorney at law with offices in Marble Falls and Llano. Call 325-247-5486 for your appointment, or go to timcowartlawoffice.com. Licensed to practice law in all of Texas, not certified by the Board of Texas Legal Specialization.
Here we are in beautiful downtown Llano, Texas on the square at the courthouse, and we're standing in front of the Llano County Veterans Memorial, where it's dedicated to the Korean and Vietnam War. We also have World War II and Desert Storm. This is one of the oldest courthouses in Texas. It was designed by A.O. Watson out of Austin. Construction began in 1892. This is actually the fourth of the Llano County courthouses. So it's on the National Registry of Historical Places. And they've got a gazebo. This is the thing I like about a lot of cities in rural Texas, where they still have that downtown square. Remember last week we were at Menard and they're trying to figure out what to do. And then we were in Mason where they have the square. Well, here in Llano they're doing it where they're trying to rebuild their downtown with various restaurants, various operations. The post office is here. Buttery Hardware, which has been here forever, downtown. Charlie's across the street. They've got cafes. They're trying to bring it back alive. And that's what we need to do with our small Texas towns, is bring them back alive. The clock tower on the courthouse has been rebuilt to match the original design of the courthouse here. And so they're trying to keep the authenticity of the downtown. It's like it says on the marquee, Llano, Texas, the way Texas used to be. And what we're trying to do is recapture that. And as everybody knows who listens to Life in the Hill Country, Jay and I, one of our goals is to make sure that people are aware of what's going on with rural Texas and with small town Texas, because it's so very important to our heritage, to our culture, and also to our future. Because if these towns die, then we lose so very much. We are standing in front of the Llano County Courthouse. This is actually the backside. This is, as we were saying, the fourth of the courthouses. The other ones all burned down. Now also, the one thing about this courthouse is that a lot of the granite, a lot of the stone came from Frank Teich. His stoneworks were here in town, and that really helped kick off the granite works that this area is so famous for. And he passed away in 1939, so he was one of the first architects, monument builders, and sculptors to use the granite stone around here for his work. And so the whole area has such a historic value behind us. Behind us we've got the Llano News Building, a courthouse annex, and as you can see, when we were in Menard, we had the same types of buildings, only they were empty. Here we've got people trying to make use of them. And so that, to me, and I think that's our county clerk's office, if I'm not mistaken, right there. And so the entire town, is they're keeping it alive, they're trying to bring people down to the square. Because remember, there was a time when these were the heartbeats. This was the heart of these communities, and people would gather. And they would sit around at the coffee house, they would drink coffee. You knew what was going on in any town just by coming downtown and stopping and saying hi to people. So, when we talk about pride in our country, it's evidence when you look at some of the monuments, especially here in Llano. They've also erected a monument in memory of the men of Llano County who made the supreme sacrifice, which means they died in World War I. And it was erected by the Shakespeare Club of Llano, Texas. And I love the saying that says, "If you break faith with us, you will not sleep." These men gave their lives. So the county has a history, a strong history of putting gentlemen and men and women in harm's way in order to keep us safe. And you've got this one, and we've also got right over here the World War II monument. And when you notice these names here, you'll notice that in this county, a lot of these names, the family lines go back almost to the founding, to the beginning of the county, to the founders of the county. So there is that strong historic tie that we have. So the next time when you're in small town Texas, think about the men and women who have given their lives so that we could continue to do the things we do. We're now standing in front of the Civil War monument, it's dedicated to our Confederate dead. Now the Civil War here in Texas was truly a civil war because of the votes among the counties. It was a very close vote as far as secession goes. Here in Llano County, Mason County, there was infighting in addition to the men who went off to serve in the Confederacy. South of us in Fredericksburg, there was a strong German contingent. They tried to stay loyal to the Union. And in fact, several of them, as they actually tried to leave Texas and go into Mexico rather than serve in the Confederacy. And there was a battle down at Nueces County that killed several of them. So it was one of those things that truly tore apart our state, our country. And this is a monument to those who gave their lives. The important thing to remember is they gave their lives for what they believed in. Just as the men and women of World War I, II, Vietnam, Korea, and Desert Storm, and now the Iraqi-Afghanistan wars, they're giving their lives for what they believe in. And that's what's kept America strong and has kept us proud, is that faith that what we're doing is the right thing to do.